Hey everybody, it's Heather. It's time for our You Matters moment. We're gonna go feed Boogie, but look at this. Isn't that pretty? Even the sky looks all pictures on my phone. Y'all should see my phone. This is my 171st video, and I still can't believe I even got one to upload or even look remotely anything. Or even remember I said this before. Like I can't believe that even 10 people ever watched, and now there's almost 4,000 of y'all. I'm all tangled up in my carrots. Okay. Have I ever shown y'all my boots that I wear when I do my work? I can't see if I can see them. Oh, hell. Sorry. I always try that thinking that I have 32-year-old eyes again. But I just turned 53, which whenever I talk like that, my mom gets mad. She doesn't know about this channel, so if she ever does, hi mom. She doesn't get mad because of anything. She loves me, but it does make her feel a little older. Woo! June bug attack. Buggy! It's gonna be a little bit loud. I'm gonna top off his water. We've been getting close to 100 lately. But you know what? If you have a black car and it doesn't have AC and it's like 90 something every day, the inside of your car's real temperature is 457 degrees. I promise. It's got to be the truth. Lord have mercy. I went to an adjacent town to ours a few days ago. It's like 45-minute drive. When I got home, I couldn't stop the mantra that had been in my head that was, "You're boiling, you're boiling, you're boiling." And I don't care about my hair, the wind, all of it didn't help. Okay, I'm gonna have to whistle. I saw him, but he doesn't know I have carrots, so he might be being a goof. I hear you. God, I stepped on that same cactus. So, hey, you guys, you're probably all gone. The theme for today, let's say, hi, were you running from the doggy? The doggy this is a little bit smaller than you. Hi, Bugs. I brought you some carrots. Come over here. He's getting excited. Hi, Bugs. How was your day? No more rain. I bet you're happy. I'm trying. I'm trying. I wasn't prepared for you. If this is the first time that you guys have seen one of my videos, I talk about inspiring things. Sometimes I do art in my art studio. Have a little slice of Texas. Um, I have a pony, and his name I'm not putting that near your mouth. His name, I did not name him. I was named him Fabio, and he runs that hair looks like Fabio from the old. It's not, what is it? It's not Buddha. Hi, Pumpkin. And I always tell you guys that if you're gonna feed a pony or a horse, so Boogie's like, I don't know what that is, 3.5 feet tall, but he's 500 pounds. You're acting like you're starving. Dude, look at you. You are not starving. Always watch your fingers, and also never ever forget they're vegetarian, and no matter what you see in the movies, their intention is not to hurt humans. I think sometimes they really are just wild. They're not used to having somebody boss them around like you see in some of those old westerns. Sorry about the noise. Or they're just scared. Or maybe somebody was mean to them. You know how sometimes rescue dogs act weird? Perla was a rescue. I thought if anybody heard that video the other day, I was telling you guys how when we first got her. Oh, I owe you a video. I was telling you how when we first got her, she was afraid of things like. No, I didn't say this. She was. You were like 2 inches from me. She was afraid of things with handles like brooms and mops. Oh, and uh, a water faucet. I don't know about that. Something with water with her. So we all, the kids were in middle school, so we all had to be real careful with how we talk to her, and we always watch if we were introducing something in the house. Just hey, I'm picking up a broom to go mop. I mean, sweep. We would just pay attention to her a lot to make sure we were filling her needs and not scaring her. And one thing she did back to us that wasn't respect back was she had a love of skunks, a big one. And if you can smell a skunk, I think I read somewhere that it's like it can be up to 2 miles away, but I might be confusing that with sharks and blood. But anyways, I always knew if I smelled a skunk, it didn't mean, here, Boogie, in the mouse, right here. Okay, I gotta go do the water. Um, it doesn't mean they're like right at your door if you smell them. Cha cha blah blah. There, good. Take it in here. Okay, we got one more. But they could be close. And I swear Carla would go and she would play with them. And then she'd come back smelling them worse than the skunk smelled. I know she was familiar with it. Here's two more. It's getting dark, so I'm gonna make this quick. I need to talk to y'all about you matter. Hi, Boogie. And I thought we could go visit Boogie too. So, oh my God, I forgot our theme. Hi, this is Heather. I'm making you a video because I'm super thankful to be able to. And I'm also super thankful that y'all watch and comment. And oh, I know what it was. I came up with a new idea for a live painting session. And that's what my theme was, not that, but it made me think of the theme. Okay, check this out real quick. This is Boogie's pasture. He's still over there with his carrots. Doesn't that moon look pretty? I don't think it's going to be clear enough to see. And that was in my pocket. So here's my idea. I was thinking that the theme should be your ideas matter. Sometimes you just think of like some crazy thing, like maybe in the kitchen, or maybe you're a carpenter, or maybe it's for your job. I know for my job, I know the way that I moved up in the company was because I always came up with really creative ways to do things easier. Like now, it's way easier, but I really love Excel. So I would make easy buttons on stuff and little things like that. Anyway, so your ideas matter. And I have so many ideas all of the time, that I actually tell myself it's not a good idea because I'm pretty sure it's my 19th crazy idea for the day. And I just came up with one that's really cool about an easy way to start to get familiar with creating art. And I know some of y'all are like, that's it, I'm done. I'm just going to go right now. I don't ever want to see her again because that's a dumb idea. This one might not be for you, but there's other ones, I swear. Okay. Her is so sweet. She likes to go with me to run my errands, and she does not like humidity. It's way humid. Anyhow, so I'm going to do a live later. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a card deck, which won't take me long. And they're going to have shapes on it. Oh, I had on a hat. My hair looks crazy. It's going to have shapes on it. And then we're going to have it's like a smaller canvas. But you can go along and do it with me if you want. Just get like a piece of paper. It could be note paper. It could be I don't know. When I started painting, I would just grab stuff. We had like an old piece of tile, a piece of wood. One time I just used chalk on the ground. No, that one I made like a cherry tree. I don't, you can't see it anymore. Um, so if you want, I want you to know that you matter. So your ideas, and we're not all the same, but we kind of are all the same when it comes to being human and having ideas and wanting to have fun and um, finding our joy, whether we actually put that into words and know that's what we're doing or not. That's in my mind, it makes me feel better sometimes if I have a not so great day because then I can remember, you know, even if you feel alone, you can know that you can kind of aren't. If other people feel like you do and you just don't know them or you don't see them, then maybe you get on YouTube and you see my face. Um, I love how it's 90 degrees. It's like 9 o'clock here. The sun just went down, and my body is acting like I'm about to pass out. Um, Getting old, for you guys that are not girls that don't understand this, it is a little bit hard for women to get older. Because, like, if y'all remember when you were teenagers and you had all that stuff, where you're learning how your body's growing and your hormones and all that stuff, we'll just flip the script and just know that we have to go through that between the ages, usually at 45, at 55. Your hormones change. We don't get taller, but some people get like an attitude, so you have to like watch out. Um, but also, hot flashes is the craziest thing in the whole world. I didn't think for a second that you know what? I'm not monetized and it's not a product thing, except I use this and I love it, and I like, have 5,000 acres behind my house. So it's called Cutter, and it's lemon eucalyptus. So if you're one of those people that has to have bug spray, I don't mean to jump all over the place. And you don't like the way bug spray smells because it stinks. This one, Cutter eucalyptus, and it says it's DEET free. That one works real good. So what I was telling the kiddos or the men that don't know, and I bet you guys, everybody's watching this knows this, I'm sure, but it's essentially women going through that same stuff. It's and random crying. This random crying I've been doing for the last few weeks is my mom said it is not menopause, Heather, which I thought was cute because that is her. Actually, she was a librarian her whole life, and she's short. She walks real fast, and she's very prim and proper. So that's actually how she talks. If she did actually see this video, I think she would say, Heather, that is not how I speak. So I'm gonna do a live. I have an idea. I'm gonna tell y'all that I think that what is gonna happen is I'm gonna let you know today, if you're watching now. Uh, no, let me do it this way. I'm gonna do like a community post 30 minutes before the live, and my metrics show, and I think this is because of overseas for you guys that are maybe getting ready to go to bed that are here in the States. Um, you need to know that what if you wanted to see the video and you're about to go to bed. What is orange on me? Um, oh my gosh, that's on my phone. Boogie got some carrot on my phone. If you want to participate in this new, possibly fun event, I think it's gonna be 20 minutes. I'll have a link in the description where if you have a printer, you can just print the one page or just on your phone so you can look at it. So my idea was to do like a card deck, but with simple shapes. And then like really what I was thinking is inviting my girlfriends over and us having an art night which I'm really the only artist, so they'd probably be coming for the wine. And then flipping, like, everybody gets like a little, let's see, what size? Like an 8 by 10 canvas in the pack is what I was thinking of. It would be something like this size. How can you tell how big that is? I don't know, but right? Or a little bit smaller maybe. And then these they're pastel sticks. They look like crayons, but they're made from acrylic paint, I think. I'm sorry. I just thought of the idea and then I wanted to talk to y'all and I wasn't prepared to show you. But anyways, I was thinking about selling it in packs. So like if you wanted to have your friends over, and I was thinking that it could be called like laugh lines and wine. And then it comes with, 4 or 8 or 10, however many friends you're gonna have over, that number of canvases, make them small, and then 10 or 20 of the cards with prompts. That's what the shapes would be, prompts. So, like, let's say you flipped one over and it was a circle, and one girlfriend drank a bunch of wine. Oh, I have a bunch of stuff down here. I was thinking I had a little one to show you. Oh, here, yeah. I was even thinking it could be like this size, you know? Um, Here's my hand. Oh, crap. I think I lost my glasses on our walk. Oh, Heather. Anyways, can you see my hand? And you see that where the end of this is? So I was thinking if it came in a pack like this, and essentially you had adult crayons that are not messy, because they aren't, and I'm going to show everybody in the video. And I like them because they're the ones I have. The ones I was thinking maybe go into if somebody wanted to buy the pack. Um, they must have like a little bit of a sparkle on them. And then, add-ons if you want to drop cloth, just use a sheet or a towel because that anything that's acrylic, even if it's a big thing of a bucket of paint that's acrylic, that washes off of clothes. Now, if you have a white velvet couch, maybe don't have your friends that are going to get drunk play with art on that. Okay, I don't see where I don't put them. Somebody may be using them. That's what I'm going to do. So, the theme of the longest you matter ever is your ideas matter. And the reason why I was thinking that I wanted to make sure everybody else remembered that is because we're all really different in the things we do during the day, the things we do for work. And like I have one daughter that works at a grocery store almost full time, and then she's also full time getting her nursing degree. Another one is a computer programmer, and she builds games and everything that when she doesn't use her mom words, I don't know what she's saying, but I love her so much. Um, and she has great ideas too. Look, these are all from 80 different times, but see how each one, is like little, so it wouldn't feel intimidating. And then, because the thing is I was gonna start doing some tutorials on YouTube for the ones that were interested in learning how to paint. Because oh, here's my glasses, yay! I did get one comment, and I want to say thank you so much. I loved it. She said teach me how to paint, and I realized that the number one thing, because I got my degree in psychology with a minor in art, I wanted to be an art therapist for children that had been through things or that their parents. I worked with children that were wards of the state when I was in college, and they all needed special care in different ways. And I always seemed to really they had the best days, and in turn, so did I, whenever we were able to fit in art time. So that's where that came from. And I realized that kids don't say, not many, say, I don't know what to make. You know, if you hand them the materials, right? What they usually will say is, and they're quiet for a minute. And then all of a sudden stuff starts happening. I did have a girlfriend do that once at my house or here in the shop, and she needed a lot of props. But it's because she wanted it to be perfect. And and I know I have a family full of perfectionists. I really do. And it's funny to look at my art shop and think about that because, I mean, there's just stuff, it was just a random ladder. And when I first started doing my videos showing you guys my art shop, I don't know if you remember, but I was like, there's no way I'm going to ever let them see my shop until I have it all clean. Well, then one day I was like, this is clean. If I could just get these on a site and sell the big ones, I'd have a lot more room. But so that's my story. Your ideas matter. Have you ever been in a meeting? Because okay, so I was in the corporate world for almost 25 years, and I worked in a group called AT&T Consulting, and back then it was a small group and very few women, and and I was super comfortable with conference rooms and meetings, and then bringing in the people on the phone from Singapore or wherever. And I was just really familiar with that. And I never cared if it was men or women. And and I know that not everybody's stories are the same. So y'all don't ever think that I'm trying to assume that you may not even understand what I'm saying because that's just not your life. My point is, um, I had to get really comfortable with using my voice in front of anybody because I had been my whole life, but I was a suicide counselor, and before that in college, I worked with, you know, pretty psychologically damaged kids. Oh, and I worked with schizophrenics for a little while. So now I'm sitting in, conference rooms with grown adult men, mostly, and you could easily be that person that would think that they're probably smarter than me, they know better than me, anything I have to say wouldn't be as good. It's really easy to beat yourself up when you visibly see yourself as very different than the people around you. Um, what I'm trying to say is that yesterday I found out that I had some fear, and that was weird. And today I'm explaining to you at one point in my corporate career, I found myself having to like hype myself up to, almost like raise my hand to speak. I'm not really like almost asking permission. And you could ask my mom. She would say, "You've been speaking as long as you ever could figure it out, and you never cared if you talked over someone, and you sure never raised your hand and asked." So I learned the eloquence of doing that in the corporate world, and for that, I thank you. And I don't thank you for firing me because I have a disability, but I have appreciated very much my paint journey, which started because of that. So tonight we're going to do some prompts that are easy. So you can have a pencil. You don't have to have colors. You could I'm going to put it in a community post, and then 30 minutes later, I'll start go live. So if you catch this now and you're overseas, just know in like 3 hours, there'll be a post if you want to walk with me. And then if you're going to bed and you live in the States, good night, sleep well. I hope you have cool dreams. I know I do sometimes. And there will be a page video if you are curious about it. So my thought is that, and the reason I was telling you about the kids and all that, and even the schizophrenics, we have RJ there too. Um, I couldn't get Paula to do anything, but that's okay. If you do this with your friends, like I said in the beginning, they'll probably come if you ask them to bring them on. Or if you tell them that you have wine and make sure you tell them that you have the opposite of what they like, then for sure they'll come because they're going to bring their own wine. I don't know, psychological little tips there. Um, and the prompts are gonna be easy, like maybe 10 cards. It could have three circles, a star, something that looks like a small rainbow, and then you just like if you're by yourself, you would just lay the card next to you, and on the canvas, like it could end up with someone could have a star with a bunch of polka dots in it and straight lines coming out the side, and it's in all like golds and silvers. Somebody else could have a swivel that looks like a mountain, and then circles, and they could add, on top of the mountain, so it looks like, I don't know, snow. And then like a couple of stars, stick them in the sky, or put one underneath where the mountain is, and put legs on it, and make it, the humans in my painting have stars for heads. I don't know. Those are the things I think that people might need if they're interested in creating. I think it's having the courage to. I tried this in my lives, and I've said this to everyone that I've ever talked to art about, that I just don't have a problem with painting over something whenever I don't even have to be done with it. I can just say in my head, this is gonna make me mad every time I see this because I don't like it. I don't like these two colors. I don't like this shape. I don't, and I just grab whatever dark paint I have and I immediately just dump it on it. Now, that's obviously happened a few times. Um, and this is my house and this is my art shop and I don't share it with anyone but my kids. So I also understand what I'm saying is a not possible solution for someone that has, say, a husband that might be like my dad, where, you don't wear shoes in the house and everything's either white or glass. And I don't know if I've ever seen a dirty dish there. Um, but that's not how we are here. But I wanted to make it applicable so that if you want to follow along, you can go to the community tab in a little bit, and then I'm just going to have a link, and you can either click the link and then just watch, look at it on your phone or print it because it's just going to have basic shapes. Or you can do none of that. Grab a piece of paper and maybe like if you grab some of your kids' crayons. I don't know. Y'all, have you ever seen when I grabbed my kids' crayons? I'll have to show you. Okay, so this is what librarians push. Not doing very good. They put books on it and push it around the library. One of my friends gave it to me, found it at a thrift store. My second wedding was cool. We wrapped everything in hemp. But look at that. Those are all my kids. Every year when they would have their end of the year, their bag full of stuff, I would collect it. Yeah, I got a few crayons. Anyways, go grab go grab a couple. Your kid won't notice, I swear. Or get like three different color pens off your husband's desk. It doesn't have to be that color. You could just watch. Because I think that if people can just have courage in creating, that, you could end up being the best seamstress on earth or the best people that make saddles for horses or shoemaker, or it could just make you a better cook, you know? Um, I like that I cook like I do art and that everyone loves my food. Um, I just, it, those poor recipes, I just can't follow them. I think that they're nice, um, they're a prompt for me. And I'm done now. So what time it is? Y'all, I just talked to you guys for 30 minutes. If you were still on here, you get your own very free YouTube live tonight. And if anybody wants to comment on this video being so long, can you also tell me what in the world you think I should paint on this huge canvas? I used like 4 different colors of gold the other day. I don't hard to see. That's the only problem with these lights. It's like 4 different colors of gold. It's got some pink in it. Let's look at it. There we go. It's got some pink in it. And then I used oil because I wanted it to kind of be bubbly, you know? And I know that it always looks weird in the beginning, but this one is not my color style. I'm so sorry I'm messing it up. I'm gonna put a hole in it. But you see how it ended, like, I wasn't gonna make it solid at all. I was gonna make it almost splotchy. I was gonna Jackson Pollock it, really. I wanted to just do like a splatter and then see what happened. But I ended up having to get out. You ever seen anybody paint your house or someone's house? You know, I had to get that thing out. You know that you use the other side of a broom handle on those? Isn't that crazy? That painting, I want to show you how it can end up something if you're new to me and you're still here. So what I did on that big, huge one, I know that side is fuzzy. There we go. This can end up, this was that. I was messing around with different colors. And I mean, there's even pieces of the colors that look like right here. I was really into my whole sea creatures time. And I just started one day, I just started doing, um, I don't know, I just started kind of just whatever. And I looked, I just stopped. And you always, if you're going to create something that's visually, if it's with wood or anything, I always think it's a good idea to stop mid creation, step back like 10 feet so you can, get a different viewpoint. This one is kind of what I was hoping would have happened with that gold one. I have no clue how I did her though. I forgot. I always like the way the water pulled down. Oh, do y'all know what this one's name is? This is totally going on my website when it goes up. 9 legs. Yeah, I went to all that work. And he has more than 8 legs, and he's an octopus. I even started putting a bling on him if it's still there. Little blings, like I glued them. And these right here are all exactly the same, and I just used black paint inside like the lid from an old jelly jar. And these were like something from my kitchen that had a circular top. So I just put, like I did this and then I did that, like I stamped it. So even that wasn't hard. I'm not saying anyone thinks that anything I've ever done is hard. I'm just saying I know there's a lot of people in my life that have said, I'm not an artist. You're a great artist, Heather. And I don't think I am. But I'm not afraid to, no, I don't throw stuff away. But I'm not afraid to repurpose it. I'm not afraid to go to the store and buy gesso, which is really thick white paint, to make sure that whatever I made really does get painted over. Oh, just gonna see if I had any other ones to show you. Oh no. Oh, and if you're gonna join me for the live and you want to talk, this is the other side that I was thinking. Let me get you something to see size. Here's, this is, I don't know if that helps. Okay, I forget what this is. These are very small. See, here's my hand. Oh, I know. Here's my glasses. So if you got a circle and a diamond and a star, and then maybe just like a two-lined rainbow, and then you liked like maybe the gold stick that you color with, and it's really not messy at all. Then you could just do the edges with the gold, and then flip it over and sign your name, and that's how you could be done. And then everyone else could still, if you have your friends over, and you could just finish drinking all the wine while no one noticed. It could happen. And if you're a guy, same story, but whatever y'all like. Are guys still into scotch? I had a friend that was, and we went to some place where it was like it was really yuck. It was a taste test scotch night yuck. I think you really have to like that stuff. Whenever my girls and I were setting the space up, it had no color, no nothing. It was just brown. Anybody that ever wants a workshop for tools and stuff would have really loved it. Seriously been changed since then, but I tried to make fun things on each wall. Is that backwards, y'all? Like this one says dance. I think this wall might say, oh, it says create. We've made so much stuff I can't remember. I think one says paint, and then one I used to have this thing. I got this on our neighborhood app for free, and then I put curtains to cover it up. It's got a lot of my supplies for free. I just had to find the right friend to help me move it. I did a good job. It's very cranky though. Guess I'm done talking for now. Um, what time is it? Okay, it's 9:30. So I was thinking around midnight. Oh, and did y'all know that you can make your own paint? If you have kids, you probably do. Let's see it. I can get this down here. You see all my seashells I collected from our island house that I can't go to anymore because I got divorced. Um, check this out. This over here in the light. Okay, this is made. I forgot now how do you make paint. Salt. Oh, salt, flour, water. I think that's it. Oh, food coloring. Salt, flour, water, food coloring. If you look it up, it's like a cup of each or something like that. It's like way more salt than you think is right. So, isn't that funny? I went a little nuts when I got too much, and I added glitter to mine because I have no idea why. Well, the light's just not hitting it right. Because it's like a pinkish red, and I was trying to make it look like coral or something, and then I have no clue what happened, but it just decided this right here is an air bubble. So if you're gonna make your own paint, maybe you should do a YouTube channel on that. And I will watch it because I couldn't do this anymore. I make my own black paint from coal after I do a burn pile, but I don't know how to make. I don't have a clue what I did wrong. Here, will this be a place where I can't stand it? There's like almost too much lighting. Anyway, my whole point is tonight. If anybody wants to join me, you are so welcome. And if you're going to bed, I hope you have a wonderful night's sleep. I'd love to interpret dreams, so totally welcome at any time to comment and ask me about your dreams. It's always been my job with my girlfriends. They always tell me, I had a dream about a watermelon rolling down the hill. What does it mean? That's really well, not a very good example. I had a dream once that I was flying. My mom had all of these rugs in our house from Turkey, and in my dream, I was on my favorite one, flying in the air, and I had always wanted to have a dream of flying, like so bad that I knew I probably never will, but then I dream all the time. And I finally did, and you know what? In that dream, there was no color. The whole dream was not even black and white. It was like sepia. And in my my brain works so, because I get so focused on the wrong things sometimes that I was pissed in my dream that there was no color instead of being happy that I was flying. It's stupid. Anyways, that's all I gotta show y'all for now. We're just gonna do some really simple, almost like basic training for creating. And if you just need somebody to help you go to sleep, because maybe I'll just tell some stories, I don't know. My second husband loved it when I told him stories. He said it was hard for him to fall asleep after we got divorced, because what really I did was I like to read at night, like books, actual books, and he didn't mind if the light was on, thank God. And he wanted me to talk to him, so I would just read my book out loud until he started snoring louder. I mean, my nearest neighbor is like a mile away. I swear that he's woke everybody up. Never. And then I'm going to end the longest 60-second video ever by saying this. When we got divorced, which needed to happen, the first husband that we raised kids with, that one's fine. The second one, we had some real troubles getting along. And I didn't want to live like that with my kids. And neither did he. Uh, but when he moved out, that freight train snore noise, I didn't know that that was helping me sleep. Like how my sister has one of those white noise machines, and I always called her like, that's weird that you need a machine that sounds like static to go to sleep. But my noise when I go to sleep sounds like this. It's like locusts and wind, and you know what I mean? I don't have car noise where most people do. So I get it. And for the few years that we were married, um, I couldn't hear anything but just a freight train. Oh my God. And I would actually complain. Then it was gone and I missed it. Isn't that the story of life? You don't know what you had until it's gone. I think I actually just this very second realized what that means. I mean, for real. Excuse me. So, y'all get a glass of wine and come back in 3 hours. Let me look at my clock again with glasses and see what time it really is. I was super busy today and I lost track of time big time. Oh yeah, so it is. It's 9:30, and I'm gonna consider doing something with my hair because um, when I wear a ball cap, y'all know if I'm doing anything for your hair. If you're still with me, I would like to say thank you. I really mean that from the bottom of my heart. I never thought in a million years that I would have uploaded this many videos to YouTube where God and everybody could listen to me. And I was in a place where I had stories to tell. And I thought, I can't get on there. I feel like I'm going to be tattletaling, like, because, and I couldn't even say I got fired out loud. I would always say, I just don't work there anymore. And if you are new here and this is the first time that you have seen my face or heard me talk and you got let go from your job, like especially if it was like me, I almost been there 25 years. Um, and I had a disability because I got lost in the middle of the ocean, and the Coast Guard called my family, told them that we had passed away. We went through 4 hurricane-like storms, and that's so nice to be able to tell that story now, years later, without it feeling emotional, because it was very emotional after the fact. I wasn't emotional when it was going on because I just kept thinking, I did not raise my daughters to be happy, healthy, productive humans with that idea in my mind every single day. And they were in middle school, or maybe one of them was in elementary. No, no, wait, 4? Yeah, no, they were in middle school. And I just thought, I don't want anybody else. I mean, anybody can raise a kid if you really, really have it in you and you want to, even if it's not your child, right? I always thought I would adopt kids, and but that whole time when we were out in that boat, all I could think was, I did not go through all this life, and then I had all these goals every day to like be really good at work, work my way up, make more money, send my kids to college, make sure that I teach them the things that they need to know so that they have the foundation to teach themselves in case I ever am not here. But sitting in a bay boat that was broken with no communications and we couldn't see land and um the only way we moved, our boat moved, was because Brian, the captain, he was my ex-husband's best friend. He would take the anchor and throw it as hard as he could to move the boat, which, if you can imagine, we're in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico. I mean, it's not like he wasn't, he wasn't hitting the bottom at all. We would just hope for some wind. And we finally found an abandoned island. And um, uh, I really can't remember the words. I don't know what it's called. It had like those big, big waves that crash onto it, that it's dangerous to park your boat on, right? And so, because he's such a boat guy, he literally didn't want to like stop and get off. And I was getting ready to punch him in the face. I mean, I'm 5'2". I'm not. That's not really who I am. But I was soaking wet. Oh, I've been on my period. TMI, I know. But seriously, was afraid of sharks the whole time because I was like, I don't even get why we haven't seen sharks. This is so weird. And now he's worried. Oh, capsizing. He said it's gonna capsize the boat if we go on land. And I looked at him and I said, what other land is it you're expecting to be getting on? And then I told him, and I guess I'll just say it on film, first $1 million I ever get, I'll give it to you if you will just land this boat. Like, I didn't even know what words to use. Land was wrong. Pretty sure that's just for plane. Um, and he did. And he did not capsize, whatever the heck that is, the boat. And we're soaking wet. And like everything that we had on the boat, we could barely even get it off, like our overnight bags, because days and days of just like crashing waves and water filling up. And I mean, everything was soaked, all of us. And we were so wet that during the day, when it was so hot, we never totally dried off, ever. It was crazy. Um, and we just started walking on an abandoned island. And I'm geographically challenged, like as a joke and also as the truth of who I am. And I love the fact that we have, smartphones. And, but I also knew that I was walking somewhere and I wasn't going to be getting on any boat for a while. And we just started walking, and the next thing you know, for days we haven't heard not a fish, not one fish, not one bird, not one shark, nothing during the day, and storms at night. But we hadn't heard any noise. And I thought, I've been out deep sea fishing before a couple times, but never in a boat that wasn't made for being out there or first thing when the sun comes up, or I didn't know what to expect, and but I thought it was so odd because usually, there could be dolphins eating a big school of fish, and then birds flying because they want some. But like none of that, we never heard any noise except the guys didn't really speak much. So I told them stories, and then I would get mad at them because they didn't talk much. And then there'd be silence. Y'all, I needed one of y'all to talk to. Oh, our phones died the first night in less than 4 hours. Because it's a 10-minute boat ride to their fishing cabin, which is on an island with people on it. And because it's only 10 minutes, we never fully charged our phones. We just packed it up. Just like if you were going to drive to your friend's house to spend the night. So, end of story is, the Alabama, so I live in Texas. Alabama Coast Guard had come to help them with our rescue because they needed more people. It was taking too long, and they were worried that what they said was if they are where we think they are, there's no way they're still alive um, because of the time. And it was almost October, so it was kind of cold at night. Um, so the Alabama guys were going home, and he said he just happened to look down one of them. There's like a lot of room inside those helicopters that the Coast Guard uses. I don't think they ever show that on TV. I mean, I felt like I was getting into I don't know, like a Suburban or something. There's like a whole bunch of seats and stuff. And but they said they looked down and they said, "Weren't we looking for one girl and two men, or one lady and two men?" And everybody was like, "Yeah, remember we couldn't find them. We think they passed." And he said, "Well, what is that I'm seeing down there?" And so they circled and then they landed. And I think that I was so messed up from like everything that had happened. And I wasn't crying, I wasn't scared or nothing. But I swear, like a Greek god got off that helicopter. Like the most beautiful human I've ever seen in my life. And I looked at him and I said, um, please take me with you. Please take me with you anywhere you go. Please don't make me get back on that boat. Please don't make me get on the water. Please. And I was kind of joking, but also I'm soaking wet. I'm sure I looked great. But it makes me laugh because I always still wonder if he really looked like that or if I was just delirious is the word. Thought maybe I might have been delirious. Could be delirious right now. I've been on here for way more than a minute. I'm gonna have to do a short so that if you don't want to listen to me talk for 52 minutes about everything. Um, so I didn't have PTSD. I went to work within 24 hours. I had on heels, fed three kids, took them to school, drove an hour and a half to work, met with the VP. We had a standing meeting, and it was the next that day. And I was thinking, there's just no way I would, I did not work all these years to miss work for anything because I'm not sick. I mean, I was just real wet, and now I'm not. Um, he's the first one. Hi, George. I don't think he'll ever watch my YouTube, but he's the first one that I told what happened. And my whole point is things can happen to us. And I started painting. I got actually PTSD decided to come ring my door, knock on my door. What do you say? Oh, here's my office. Y'all, it's dark, but look, I put Christmas lights on my big paintings. I'm sorry it's so dark and I didn't do this during the daylight and I'm still talking and it's almost an hour. My whole point was is that PTSD came knocking almost 2 years later. All these things started happening in my life that were stressful, like my marriage started kind of falling apart. Was still driving 3 hours a day for commute and anyways, that's what my counselor says. That sometimes that can happen. That's what happens when it's delayed. It's because Carla, move. Chelsea, Carla, Chelsea, say hi. Let's go see a frog. Anyhow, so then I took paid medical leave, paid because I was an executive and apparently I had paid into it. Not ever thinking I'd need anything like that. I have a psychology degree. I always thought if I ever needed a therapist, I would just be my own. And I'm not, whatever word you were just going to use, think that I must think I am that great or something. I'm not. I just really couldn't imagine that anybody would know me better than me. But when you have PTSD, y'all, And if you do and you're listening to me still, first of all, I'm sorry it's so long. But secondly, nobody can really understand what it's like, um, except you and maybe a few people that have been through something like you. One of the guys I was with on the boat, his name is Toby. Hi, Toby. He might see me. I don't know. He gets on YouTube sometimes. But I don't know. Hopefully he still doesn't have an old flip phone. He told me just not to ever tell anybody about this story because nobody would ever understand. And some people were even going to say he had told somebody and they called him a liar. And he said people just don't get it. People don't get it and they also don't care. So just talk to me if you want to talk. So when I got on this 171st video in less than 6 months, I started January 6th and I thought I have all these stories to tell and nobody's gonna want to hear that bullshit, you know? I mean, it's a lot. And yeah, I just told y'all, and maybe you didn't love the story, and maybe you were interested about the fact that the Coast Guard doesn't have towels in stock. And their whole job is to go out and get people that are most definitely wet. And then also, TMI, close your ears if you're young. Then nobody had a tampon either. I had to tell them I was going to sue them if they didn't find me a tampon immediately. And I had no idea how I didn't get eaten by sharks because they didn't do their job. I was nobody's best friend that day. Nobody. Well, except for my now ex-husband. He was pretty happy. So I took PTSD from work years later, approved by my doctor, my therapist, the people who do the processing and all that stuff. And when I came back, I was demoted, and a really good friend was my boss. So that was hard because she's the one that told me to take the leave. And within a year, fired for all sorts of stuff. If you're watching this, I'm about to tell everybody what you did. Y'all, she made up papers, actual like uh write ups, like I did, like I had poor behavior at work, so that she could turn them in to human resources to then make it look like there was a pattern of poor behavior, and be able to prove it. But see, if you had about, I don't know, I think there were maybe 15 of us that had all worked together and kind of were in the same building and kind of like somewhere in sales, somewhere in support, all in cubes, kind of in the same area on the same floor. Or at least I can count on right now in my head. There's at least 15 of us. And we'd all been together at this time. We had all been together for like 12 years, maybe longer. And I mean, I almost was there 25 when it was said and done. But my point is, we all knew each other. And if any one of them, just one, had have been with me the first time that we met with HR, they would have started laughing when when the lady HR said that even though it took you 2 weeks to send me the required paperwork that we needed to start this process with Heather. The process is called a PIP, a performance improvement plan. If you get on a PIP, there are a million videos on how to get off of it or keep your job if you want to. A million on YouTube. And I'm not that one. I'm going to tell you right now, if you work for AT&T and you get on a PIP and you have done even one half of a second of something to make your boss mad or your boss's boss or anyone, that in 6 months you are not going to have a job. So you need to start looking for a new one. And I never talk doom and gloom. I just told you guys that I lived from being in the middle of the ocean, and I can't believe I didn't get eaten by a shark. But I promise you, they went on and on about this Pip was going to just make everything work better because she had done all this, she had finally turned this paperwork in, which really just means it took her 2 weeks to write up a bunch of garbage that did not happen. No one ever gave me copies. I asked every time. I said, as of this year, I have 19 annual reviews that are more than exceptional. I always got a raise. I handled a $1 billion contract. Well, y'all are writing me up over something that I don't even know what I did wrong. I was not happy that I got demoted when I came back from leave because that's against the law. And all I said to my friend slash boss was, could we at least put me somewhere that could use my skills for a better spot somewhere? Because project manager, program manager, I've only ever handled really large business customers. I'm also great with kids. I mean, yeah, I could pretty much take care of anything. And, instead, she decided to, I think she was punishing me. I don't know what the right word is. If y'all know her, will you just ask and then just tell me? I'm just kidding. This is over. Um, but that's my story. Y'all have asked, and I've talked before, and I think every time I've talked about it, it's been like, bleh. And it kind of still is because nobody really likes the idea of getting fired except for, my friend Dawn. She's not really my friend anymore because she got mad at me because I offered to help uh, prepare for one of our family Christmas parties. We're all friends that are family of like 30 years, so I offered to help, and because I didn't do it fast enough, she got really upset and hollered at me on the phone, and uh, I just told her like I still don't. I really honest to God, Dawn, I have no clue what happened, but it was forever ago, years. I don't know, 6 or 7. She hasn't talked to me since. But when we were in college, she was very comfortable getting fired. She told me once that she had worked at every single restaurant in our town, and she was constantly getting fired. And oh well, their loss. But I had never. I mean, I pretty much had the same job my whole life. So that's my point, is that if you have gone through either of those scenarios, um, or at least mine, I'm sorry because I felt like I lost my identity, That's not really an easy thing to do when you're getting a little bit older and having to adjust that sometimes it hurts when you sit down and get back up. When you used to do cartwheels. If you're 18 and you're watching this and you don't know how to do a cartwheel, go outside and learn. You know why? Because nobody does those anymore unless they're like gymnasts. See if somebody will teach you how to climb a tree. Or do you ride a bike? Ride a bike. This is stuff I tell my kids, and they don't listen to me either. I'm gonna get off now. I love you guys. Argue matter that was forever and a day long. That maybe I won't upload it and just make y'all nuts, but it was that your ideas matter. And I was telling you, just to sum it up, I was telling you I had to learn how in a corporate environment, how to use my voice in in an environment of people that really weren't like me, right? I think there were just the two of us women, me and my boss. And then, all the rest were men who were usually the smartest man in the room. And then all those were together, and that's who we got to hang out with. And it's not hanging out, we were a team. My point is, and I want to get off track now, is that your ideas matter. Your words matter. Do you have to say every single thing that you ever think? Well, you can if you need to, because obviously I did today. But sometimes you can come up with really cool ideas or different ways of thinking about things for your family, for your friends, wherever you are, that people haven't heard before, and they wouldn't have. Or maybe they would one day. They wouldn't have if you didn't tell them. So tell them. All right. We're going to do prompt. I'm going to call it prompt painting. That might be something that already exists. I don't know. In my mind, I came up with it today, and that's where my You Matter also came from. If this is the first time that you've heard my voice, or the last, I just want you to know that I believe that you're kind, you're loved, and you are supported. And seriously, if this is the first time that you've heard my voice, join my channel, hit subscribe, hit the bell. I put new material out every day. We go through all sorts of different topics. So and I threw them in different playlists so you can you know, dig through and see what you like. I personally, of all the videos, my favorite is also one of my favorite moments when the little baby white praying mantis was dancing to the Ramones. And I was, we have all sorts of, we're used to nature, but I didn't know that he threw the whole song all the way to the end. That's my favorite video. I think it's under the shorts and it's got like 1,100 views, I think. Do I need to tell y'all 97 more things? Probably not. I love you. Bye.